You are listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast brought to you by Birmingham Live.
Mark's not even on. Hello, welcome back to the Claret and Blue podcast. I'm Dan Robinson with my microphone now on and in the right position, joined by Ashley Priest this afternoon in a nice jumper shirt combination. I can tell you've been to an in-person press conference today and not a Zoom one anymore. How are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I usually rock up at Bodymore pretty casual, really. So I've had a talk with Birmingham uni students this morning. They wanted to get me in. I've got some admirers, apparently. I don't know, yeah, mental. But spoke about the pressures, the job today, sports journalism, sports reporting on Villa, and loads of good questions. So that was really good. Never done anything like that before. They asked me about the Klopp stuff, the Grealish backlash, and yeah, we had a good chat and yeah, I quite enjoyed it really. So I was there this morning and straight over to Bodymore then, so half an hour away. So yeah, I'll be professional today. I feel like I've done a proper day's work, as they say.
Nice, like it. I've turned up in a tracky top, which you couldn't really turn up to Bodymore in without looking like a bit of a weirdo.
That's the Remy Gard era, that one. Remy Gard.
Shout out to our colleague, Rich Cusack. He sent it to me in the post. It arrived this morning, so I said I'd give him a shout out and wear it on the pod. I wear stuff like this for running and gym and whatever else. I prefer like the tracky tops rather than the shirts. So
yeah,
I'm a big lad. The shirts don't fit very well, so I prefer a nice baggy jumper. So I said, yeah, shout out to Rich for that. Yeah, I don't know what era, 2012, 13 I was thinking of, but it probably is a bit later.
2015, relegation year, Dan.
Relegation year.
I think it is. I remember Eric Black wearing that, Remy Gard. Yeah, not a good look, Dan.
Oh, okay. I'll probably never wear this on the podcast again. Then not a great omen, is it? I thought it was a bit earlier than that. Oh well, it's comfy, which is a good thing. Anyway, let's talk about the press conference. As you said, you've been there this morning. We'll try and rattle through this in the next 15 or 20 minutes or so. Bit of a strange atmosphere at the moment, I guess, between supporters and the club, which we've talked about on podcasts for the last couple of weeks or so. But the mood within the camp and at Bodymore is this kind of defiant, we're all in this together, we'll change it, we back ourselves. Is that the impression that comes across in the room when you're there?
Yeah, I seen Matt Kendrick's tweet, ever the comic Matt. What did he say about the Villa admins? Thoughts with the Villa admins at this moment in time. But yeah, we've seen the social media reaction. It's not a happy place at the moment. Very negative on social media. We'll take your way out of that. I was at Bodymore today. The vibe's good. Mood's good. Would you believe, Dan? It's positive. And Gerrard fully believes he's one result away from it all looking okay again. Big week. We know it's massive tomorrow. Huge. Career defining probably for Gerrard, perhaps. Lose down there. I can't see a way back. Win down there, it's back on again. I think Gerrard knows that challenge. I've got a story dropping at 5 o'clock in Bargo. Gerrard detailing talks with one owner. He didn't name the owner. He had a talk with one owner this week. So I believe it's Suarez, who's based in London. Suarez. I know. Sorry. Who's based in London anyway, so there's a good chance he'll be at the game tomorrow. Nassef. We'll do Nassef easier. So he's spoken to the owners this week, and the general feeling is that they play well against Chelsea, unstuck. I know we're bored of hearing it now. We need results, we know that. But Gerrard feels Villa are a win away from going on, from putting a run together and really getting things back on board kind of thing. So yeah, Gerrard was good. He had a bit of banter with me. I walked in. He said, "Cameron Archer's available, Ash." Out the blue. So, I think he's fully aware of what's been happening there. I didn't say anything. He said, "Cameron Archer's back. He'd be pleased to know." So he caught me by surprise there. But yeah, the mood's good. Gerrard's good value. He's very detailed with his answers, which I know a lot of managers aren't, and a lot of managers are quite spiky. Klopp being one of them to the press. So okay, supporters want me to be a bit harder with the manager and ask the hard questions. I do. I asked about what's the feedback been from the owners this week, and Gerrard was peppered with how you deal with the pressure. How do you think the season's gone so far? So he's had all the questions fired at him, but same response to pretty much all of them. Bullish response, not hiding. He wants to be judging the now as well. Things haven't been good enough, and it's important to have a positive few days now. Fulham and then Brentford. Well documented. We need a win out of those two minimum. So now or never, I think. Fair to say. but we'll see. From my understanding, Gerrard's got the backing from those above him to turn things around. So he believes they're one result away from that happening, and it could be tomorrow. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. We're still on this kind of knife edge period that we talked about a lot. If we beat Fulham but lose to Brentford, you still think, well, it's only 3 points out of 2 winnable games. Is that enough? And you kind of play it by ear and see what happens. Whether it's the long term backing in terms of, you've got another 10 games, 15 games to really show us what you can do, or whether it is just an immediate, right, you've got to get 6 points from the next 9 or whatever. I'm not so sure. Just want to talk about, not specifically any comments from today's press as far as I know, but kind of Gerrard's general demeanour over the last few weeks. I've said in the last preview we did about there's a few comments I didn't like and being a bit spiky or whatever. So it's only fair that I kind of flipped the other way. And this was a comment that I saw on social media that I'd not said anywhere myself, but thought, I agree with that. I don't know who it was. But I said, as much as he's under pressure and the fan base and him maybe don't get on or whatever, and there's a bit of atmosphere there, there's been no point, as far as I'm aware anyway, where Gerrard has had a go at the fans or said anything about the fans or kind of bemoaned them booing at, who do they think they are kind of thing. You had Graham Potter last year with the Brighton fans saying, what do they expect or whatever. You've had it with previous Villa managers in the past kind of thinking that they know better. Gerrard has never thrown the fans under the bus. He has fronted any kind of criticism. He's understood why people are booing. He understands why there's negative social media stuff. And that the fact he's not hidden away from that, don't get me wrong, that doesn't excuse his kind of failings as a manager so far. Let's be brutal about it. We're worse off than we were when he took over. I don't want to excuse any of that, or people think, he's nice in press conferences, so that kind of excuses that, sorry, because it doesn't. But that's the one kind of thing that I'll say about him and his personality, is that he's not had to go back at the fans yet when, 35, 36 game in charge. He could come out fighting and swinging and going, well, look, I'm trying, I'm here, I'm trying to do this. The boos don't help. We need the fans on our side, etc. But he's gone, no, hold my hands up. I understand why they're booing. I am working hard to fix it. And that's a thing that I will give him credit for. Yeah,
you just look at previous managers who've turned on the fans. Steve Bruce, I think, did. I think Lambert as well, right at the pop at the fans. But Gerrard's kept his cool, kept his nerve. And he hasn't nibbled at the criticism fired his way. So that's been a positive. He was aware of the group in the Holt End singing along with the Chelsea fans at the weekend, which I was unaware of at the time. Only for those in the Holt End. I think I spoke to a few in the Holt that said it did happen. And a lot of fans walked out because of it, singing, sacked in the morning. I want to hear that, fired at the home manager, who's trying everything at the moment. So he hasn't had a go at the fans, not at all. It's quite the opposite. He's trying to galvanise them. He said the players are with him, everyone's aligned, they're desperate to turn things around, and he made a point to that. He's desperate to get that result, and it could snowball into 2-3 wins. You don't know. So it's like you say, words are cheap, aren't they? Gerrard's very, very good value in the press conferences on a professional point of view. But it's all, let's talk more action. Can we see it now? Can we get the goals? Can we get a win? Desperate for it. So Gerrard's desperate to turn them fortunes around and send them travelling Villa fans home tomorrow, happy, back up to Brum. So, fingers crossed, mate. It's on a north edge, like you say. It's a big, big game tomorrow. I'm down there with John, so I've got my support. And could be a busy one. We'll see.
Yeah, get your therapist for the journey back to talk through any issues. We'll talk about the Fulham game specifically in a minute in terms of predictions and lineups and stuff like that. But you just said there about kind of talk being cheap and we need to see action. What did you make of the Chelsea game quickly? We said in our post-match show, kind of similar, not in the scoreline, but similar to the Tottenham game last year where we played well in the first half, didn't take our chances, and Spurs kicked it up in the second gear in the second half and blew us away. Chelsea wasn't quite that level of being blown away, so I actually thought we were better than them for most of the game, but still that thing persists of large periods of the play where you think, I'm not really still quite sure what we're doing. It's slow, it's pedestrian, it's passing backwards, but we did make chances, and we said a million times the old cliche, on another day we do win or score a couple of goals there and get a point out of it. What did you make of it? Because that was the first game, I think, in this mini run where you thought, actually, we've made chances there and we probably should have scored.
Yeah. Leeds as well, I thought. Watkins missed a few at Leeds.
Yeah.
Clutching at straws, so they're down to 10 men. But the Chelsea game, I was probably too harsh in my ratings. I followed straight away. I was probably too emotional at the time, thinking, lost again, did nothing after Mount scored that second. Need more. Can't just kill the game after 65 minutes and not give anything to shout about. Because I didn't see it. I can't remember anything after Mount's second. I really can't.
Yeah.
I can't. So the game finished then, and you got half hour left. We were at home. I think just the confidence and the belief just zapped out of Villa when that free kick went in. So looking back at it, Villa's best performance of the season, I'd say. In that first half, especially first hour. Again, people will say, stop saying it's the first hour. He played for 90 minutes. But Kepa had his best game ever. Ever. And that then two saves, the Ings one and the Ramsey one. Not many keepers saved them. They're flying in. Then the crowd's up. Chelsea looked suspect at the back at that time anyway. Potter made them changes at half time, which helped them because Bailey was getting the better of Cucurella down that one side. And Villa looked a threat, but again, no goals. And when it rains, it pours, I guess. And yeah, it's a sign of. It's not a good sign, is it really, when you're peppering the goal and you're not scoring and you're making mistakes? The keeper's having worldies. You can't win a game of football. So
I saw a stat actually on that for Brighton, funny enough, after their game last night, and they've had something like 50 shots across 3 games and not scored. I thought,
yeah,
we think it's bad.
Not just us then.
Yeah, not just us. But I think we said again after the game, so I'm repeating myself here, that losing at home to Chelsea isn't something that is defining our season or Steven Gerrard's future, because Chelsea are a far more established side than us. They've got the quality you expect. Even if we're on decent form, you still say Chelsea at home is a difficult game. I think if that same performance with us being unlucky or not finishing chances or whatever was against Fulham or Forest or something, you kind of go, oh, we're at home there. We need to do better. It's this game now, isn't it? And the Brentford one where you think if the similar kind of thing happens again, we might play semi-decent for 45 minutes but still lose. You would kind of have to think, can that go on for much longer?
Yeah, we're playing the third promoted club now tomorrow against Fulham.
Yeah,
got battered at Bournemouth. Rude awakening down there. Gerrard and the club. I think personally, I spoke to fans about that Bournemouth game. Shocker. And Gerrard spoke about the first 5 or 6 games. The data he had, Villa were miles off it, and that's been noted. The running numbers were nowhere near good enough, and he says since then, I don't know what the 6th game was now. There's been a bit of an upturn.
I think it was Man City, wasn't it? It was the first game that we'd outrun our opponent, and we've been arguably better since the Man City game.
It'd be from that then. It'd be from that. Whereas the game before that, Villa were more. I remember Palace played shocking down Palace as well as Bournemouth. Everton was lucky in the end. They came on strong. But yeah, the Man City one since then. There's been an upturn in performances. I know Southampton wasn't great, got the win though. Leeds and Forest weren't great, but we never looked like losing them games. So clinging on, aren't we? Really, we're clinging on. We just need it to click. And can we take it out on Fulham tomorrow? Can we have a bit of luck for once? And who knows, two or three goals could fly in. We don't know, but that's what. Just waiting for it to click. And how long can you say that? But we're hoping it turns.
I think it's 2 games, isn't it? Is how long you can say it for. If you don't get 4 points, probably from these next 2, I think it was the other way around, because you'd normally say draw away, win at home. Whether it's a draw tomorrow, I'd still be thinking, oh, is that quite good enough? But if you do beat Brentford, you go, right, 4 points from that 2, it's decent enough.
Yeah.
If you beat Fulham tomorrow, and then even if you get a draw at home against Brentford, you still say, right, it's 4 points, that's okay. We can kind of move forward with that. So this kind of, how long can we keep, not making excuses, but how long can we keep making excuses and saying, well, it's almost there, it's almost there. I think it's 2 games is how much longer we have to say that for. Yeah. This isn't an anti-Gerrard thing or an anti-whoever. It's not even an anti-the manager thing. It's just, I just want Villa to win games. I want us to lose games for the sake of someone's job. And I don't want to talk about Steven Gerrard losing his job until it happens, really, because he's Aston Villa manager until he isn't. So I'm not happy with anything at the moment, really. But if we win the next 2, that does change, and fortunes change, and it's about confidence and belief, which is something that Gerrard's talked about. So he's still saying that they've got that, and he believes that he's the right guy to turn it around. I think this was a quote from today. I'm here to fight every single minute of every day, and I've got every belief and confidence in myself that I can change this situation. Now, I don't know whether I've got the same belief and confidence in Steven Gerrard to change the situation based on results I've seen so far this season and in the calendar year, but win the next 2, and I'd go, yeah, go out there and say you feel confident and that you believe in yourself because you backed it with 2 wins. So I want to be supporting. I want to be on Gerrard's side, and I want Villa to win. But at the moment, I'm not. As I just said, I'm not convinced that things will turn. But it's like you said, it's a massive, massive game tomorrow, and must win. Would you go as far as must win, or would you take a point?
I would, yeah. I would go must win. I'll go must win. I don't think a draw. I don't think the fans, they're already not really on side at the moment anyway. I don't think the fans will take a draw against a newly promoted club, taking 2 points from possible 9 against Bournemouth, Forest and Fulham.
Yeah.
I think it is must-win territory. You got 3 weeks until the World Cup break. That's narrowing now. 3 weeks until then. So that's a big period, as we know. Can Gerrard get to that spell after showing a bit of form? Can he get some points on the board before then, which will ease things and that? But yeah, a lot of fans have turned already. We know that. We'll address that. That's the elephant in the room at the moment. We've seen the big reports regarding a certain Argentinian manager as well from the Telegraph. So everyone's aware of the situation. And yeah, proof's in the pudding. I tend to say that every week now, but it is. And last week against Chelsea, you saw signs, didn't you? They come out pretty well. There's signs there that Villa have improved, and they had that belief before. Obviously, they had a leg up as well. Mings doing that, and then that free kick was strange as well. So yeah, on tomorrow, massive game.
Yeah, we'll touch on the Pochettino stuff in a sec. I just want to get the presser stuff out of the way with the injury update. Obviously, as you just mentioned, Cameron Archer, which I quite like that bit of banter back to go. Look, he's available, by the way.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about him in our predicted 11 later down the line. But can you just round up the injury update that Gerrard gave you to our audience?
Yes, so Archer's back. It was a sickness bug last week. I thought it was a groin injury because the previous week, Gerrard said he's struggling with the groin injury. He has been for a while. He might need surgery. And he mentioned about he'll be in the squad for the Chelsea game, but we'll have to sort his groin issue out later down the line, probably in the World Cup break, and have an up then. But he was ill last week, had a sickness bug for the Chelsea game. So he's back, yeah. And Gerrard said it's big to have him back. He's made a point, actually, Gerrard, about having Archer around, saying the only thing that's missing at the moment is putting the ball in the net. And I think the vibe from Gerrard, maybe Archer's had a good week training, in front of goal. Maybe he's thinking it's massive to have him back, given Villa's shortcomings up front and in that little final third at the moment. So maybe we could see Archer half an hour, maybe start. Doubt it. But we could see much more of Archer tomorrow than we usually do. He usually gets the odd 5-10 minutes, doesn't he, max? But I think we could see a bit more from him. Had a little decent cameo at Forest, I thought.
Did he get 15 minutes at Forest or 20 minutes?
Yeah, looked bright, apart from that header, which is down to confidence. An Archer who's playing regularly probably buries that header at the far post. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, pleased to have Archer back. Luca Dean, big positive about him, left back. He could be available for Newcastle next week, is the talk. They're going to monitor him closely. He's out of his protected boot now. His heel ankle area and his right heel and ankle. But Gerrard says St James's Park next week. It's next year, 29th. Luca Dean could be back involved in the squad then. So he's got pretty good recovery. Luca Dean, he was out before with a broken collarbone, I think he had. And he was back within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So he's got
surprising that one, because I saw the quote about him, doing some running on a weightless anti-gravity machine or whatever. So I thought, well, if he's doing that to come back and be in the squad 10 days later is quite a turnaround. So I don't know whether he'd be quite fit for that, but back sooner than we expected still, because I think some might have thought it'd be much closer to the World Cup break, or even not seeing him before the World Cup break at all. So even if he's back for the game after Newcastle, whoever that is, I don't know off the top of my head, Man United.
Man U, yeah, double header.
Yeah. Even if he's back for one of those games against United, that'd be a good start. Actually, Young's doing well at left back, to be fair, so maybe Luca Dean doesn't get back in anyway.
First name on the team sheet, Youngie.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Right, is that all for the injuries?
Yeah, as you were, really. Augustinsson, hamstring injury, still out. And the ones we know about, Kamara, hoping for that Boxing Day for Kamara. So be after the World Cup for him. And Diego Carlos, like we mentioned last week, could be January, Should his rehab continue? I've seen him walking last week, wasn't it? He's having a little walk. So he's out of his boot now as well. But the Achilles are a dodgy injury. I think Jed Steers had the same injury as Carlos, and he's been out for 7 months. So, and Jed's edging towards being back in November. So 8 months, that would be 9 months. So we'll see with Diego. It'd be good to have him back sooner rather than later.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Tyrone Mings is okay as well after rolling his ankle.
Okay, good. Right, let's go away from matchday briefly and talk about Mauricio Pochettino a little bit. Now, I don't want to go on this for more than, I'm going to ask you one question, basically, and then we're going to move on. Because I don't really want to talk about it, because Steven Gerrard is still Aston Villa manager. So I don't want to talk about Steven Gerrard losing his job, like I said earlier, until he has lost it, and then it is a case of, right, in the same position Wolves are, who is going to be the next guy, and all these options come up and all these talking points come up. Villa haven't got to that stage yet, so I don't really want to give too much airtime to Mauricio Pochettino, but it did come through Telegraph that Villa would make an ambitious move for him. I think the phrase was, if Steven Gerrard was to lose his job. First of all, I didn't really like that, an ambitious move. Aston Villa, we've got wealthy owners, we can spend big if we want to. We want to get back into Europe. We should be able to go, obviously we're not going to have to go after Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp, but we should be able to go after most managers and say, here's a hefty salary for you, here's a transfer budget, come to us. I don't really like that phrase, ambitious, because Villa should be able to do that if they want to. But yeah, Pochettino, I don't even know what to talk about. My social media feed and Twitter and Facebook is full of it. Gerrard out, Pochettino in. If he's available, do it now. Get him in for the World Cup, blah, 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 blah. Is it feasible? Is this just come from an opinion piece? Is it fact? How do you assess the news of the last 48 hours, basically?
From my end, from my source at the club, it's pure speculation. That's all it is. I think the Telegraph today they've done an opinion piece. Matt Law, big Villa fan, Matt's got a lot of respect for Matt. Look up to Matt from a professional point of view. He's done an opinion piece on why he should perhaps get the job should Gerrard move on. So it's just, from my end, from the club's end, it's pure speculation, nothing more, nothing less. He's a manager available at the moment, as we know. He's not with the club. He's a sexy name, isn't he? He's linked with every vacancy there's going in terms of big clubs in Europe. So it's just people are putting two and two together. Villa are ambitious. The owners will throw money at a new manager should they feel the need to do that, because they want to accelerate where they want to get to European football. They want Villa to be in a good place by the time the North Stand development gets around, and they really want to build it. And if it's doom and gloom for so long as it has been, Villa fans aren't happy at the moment. I can see why. Results haven't been good enough. It's not a good watch at the moment.
Oh, you're a fan as well. I'm a fan. I'm a fan
as well. Yeah.
Of course. Why would you be happy with 16th, exactly. 17th in the league?
There you go.
Nobody's happy with the position, and neither is Steven Gerrard and the players. They're not going to be sat there going, you know what, we're doing all right here. I know it's nowhere near good enough, because the internal targets and the stuff we heard through Perslow and McGinn on TalkSport is always the one that I think of. And there's other players as well talking about Champions League football and European football and breaking into the top 8 this season. It's like, we're miles away, and this is the expectation the club gave us externally to fans. So I'm judging them against what they told us. This isn't us being pie in the sky, hairy fairy. Oh, here we go. Aston Villa should be in the top 4 as my biased opinion. This is the things the club were saying in the summer. So I'm judging them against that. And we're nowhere near it, so they won't be happy, and neither should we be. And there won't be anybody watching this or has been watching our stuff this year who is happy with where we are, because that's outrageous. Yeah,
I seen Ashley Young in the Times. He mentioned European probably this season. I don't know if it was misquoted, but miles off it.
Yeah, exactly. So again, if that is the target internally and we're nowhere near it, it'd be no surprise if Steven Gerrard is sacked for that. I just said hairy fairy apparently instead of airy fairy. My apologies. I would be a hairy fairy though if I was a fairy. Anyway, but Pochettino is, like you said, it is a sexy name. It's an experienced manager rather than a rookie manager in Gerrard. So, if Gerrard was to be sacked, Pochettino would be a name that many fans will go, well, he got Spurs for the Champions League final, did a great job there. He will be a good fit for Villa to try and get back into the top 8. But as of Wednesday afternoon, as we record this before the Fulham game, Gerrard is the manager, and that doesn't look like it's going to change in the immediate future, i.e. in the next 24 hours, unless Villa lose 10-0 to Fulham tomorrow night, in which case, of course, sack him and change it. So I don't really want to talk about it more than what we just have. Is that fair?
Yeah, pure speculation. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay. Right. Predicted 11 then. I've made a graphic this week, so I'll flash it up in a second for you to talk through. As always, I should predict 11. This is what you think Gerrard will do, correct?
No big surprises, I think he's seen enough last week.
Okay, right. I'll flash it up then. You talk us through it.
Yeah, unchanged.
Okay.
Same again. I think he'll go same again. 4-3-3, more flat. Watkins out on the left again. I think he might persevere with Danny Ings. I'd like to see something different, maybe. McGinn coming out and Dendoncker thrown in there, but I think he'll stick. I think he'll say, go on, lads. We battered Chelsea in that first half. We was on top. And he mentioned that in his post-match last week as well. If that's anyone other than Chelsea or any of the big hitters, if that was a Fulham, we're on top. We're scoring goals against them. So I think he'll stick. What about you? Think he'll stick?
Yeah, I mean, just back at you there, saying McGinn dropping out. Coutinho, central midfield. Because he played that when he came on, didn't he? When we had that kind of mismatched end of the game, throw everything at it.
Possibly. He might turn to Phil. He was asked about Coutinho today. He said he agreed. The stats and the numbers he's getting on Coutinho. When he starts, he's not been in the best place. He's pushing, he's trying. Just needs that little bit of luck. You don't lose talent class. He blew the roof off when he first come. Confidence can change quickly. Those are Gerrard's quotes on Coutinho. Fulham are quite physical in that middle of the park. I can't see him throwing Coutinho in there.
At all. Not even as a left winger or number 10. You just
That's the only one, really. Would you shuffle? I don't think I can't see him shuffling Watkins inside. I think
if you
quite
drop
like
him
Watkins.
if you drop him for the Chelsea game to play Watkins left because you think that's the better system, and that it didn't work against Chelsea because we didn't score, but it was probably our most potent game we've had in terms of creating chances. So to then go against Fulham, who are more physical, and we're going to be in a bit of a battle, to then bring Coutinho back in would make me question Gerrard's thinking there. So I don't imagine Coutinho comes back in if you're asking me what I would do. I would like to see, again, talked about it before, I like the idea of changes, just not for change's sake, but for in terms of freshness. Dendoncker potentially getting a start in there just to change that midfield through because it's not working. Buendia, I would like. I spoke to Pat about this a little bit earlier. I would do the same. I'd keep Watkins on the left and I'd have Ings up front. I'd like Buendia in there, but Bailey was probably his best game for us the other day. So to just drop him would be going against the kind of ethos of you've got to play your informed players and how are they ever going to get in form if you keep bringing them in and out. So Bailey probably has to start again, although I don't think he was like amazing or anything, but it's probably one of his better games. What you'd expect from a 30 million odd pound player did enough to make me go, yeah, all right, good enough. So that would go against kind of that, like I said, that ethos of keep giving players a run when they need it. So Bailey probably plays, so Buendia probably not, though I would like to see it. Again, Archer is the one. I don't think he starts. Again, I spoke to Pat about this, and I'll put the question he asked me to you in a sec. I think we'll see more of Archer than we have before. If it's 0-0 at half-time, for example, and Dan Ings isn't working, or Watkins out wide isn't working, I think you then go, right, Archer's available, he's fit, give him a half. Just give him a half to see what he's got, a proper 45 minutes of football at least. And there will be fans in the comments saying that Archer should be starting, but I think Ings did enough again to stay the system we played against Chelsea. The comment or the question that Pat said to me about Archer is Pat said he reckons Archer might start just for like a boost to the fans kind of thing, because that would win Gerrard some favour a little bit to go that the fans are calling for it. Bit of a radical change, throw Archer in for his first start away from home, get the away fans buzzing kind of thing. What would you make of that if that was the case?
Very bold. I'd like it. I think the fans would like it. It's there's a quote before, so I think some managers said it before. The youngkins, the kids and the youngkins can get you out of trouble as a manager. So maybe Archer's the one to save his job kind of thing. So it could happen, yeah. I won't be against it at all. I've seen glimpses of Archer against Forest that I liked. He looks sharp, quick, and yeah, I won't be against it at all. It would be a bold move. Let's not get around that. It really would. For him to start a game, maybe I'd see him, maybe more given half an hour, but I won't be against it, Dan. Not at all.
I think for specifically the reasons Pat mentioned about it kind of giving a buzz to the away fans and giving kind of win back a little bit of support from them, I think if that was the reason it was done, and you would never find out if that was the case, I would look at that as like weak management. To go, oh, I'm under pressure here, just throw a fan favourite in there, see what they can do. Kind of throwing a young kid under the bus potentially, I'd go, that's odd. I think we'll see more of him than we've seen before. Half an hour, 40 minutes maybe if we're struggling. I mean, if we were 1-0 down at half time, make the change. You'll have to do something. But yeah, I don't know at this point. I think Watkins, Archer, Watkins, Ings, Bailey, have done enough without scoring against Chelsea to be the same three that picked again. Same system, same style. The midfield three will probably will be unchanged. You're right, but I think Dendoncker for McGinn potentially, Buendia for Bailey, although that would be harsh. Again, I could see it, but I think it probably will be unchanged. Should we finish with predictions, or have you got anything else for the 11?
No, nothing yet. Predictions? Yeah.
Okay. Predictions then again. Spoke to Pat earlier, so I'll get his out of the way. First of all, he said 8-0 Fulham to jinx it. And then said, no, actually, I'll be serious. 2-0 win for Villa. In terms of the predictions from the last round that we did, you got it spot on again. Correct result. 2-0 Chelsea you went for. We all said we'd lose, so we all get a point for that. But you got the score correct, bang on, and you go into the lead of our little mini league of predictions as well now. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So your wisdom, your foresight, your crystal ball, score prediction for Thursday night, please.
1-0 Cameron Archer last minute.
Love that.
Raptures in the way end. Yeah.
Raptures in the press box.
In the press box as well. Come on.
Cameron Archer show.
No Raptures in there. I've got the fly ratings to do quick. I'm changing my report. Pulling the air out. No. 1-0, I think. 1-0. Maybe a Tara Mings goal or something, set piece goal, maybe. Fancy 1-0. It'll be tight.
Score from a set piece if it's Douglas Luiz direct. There's somebody that asked earlier, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. They were saying, like, if we win, and we talked earlier about it being a must win. If we won, but it was like a bad win, is that still good enough? It's like almost like the Southampton game, really boring, scrappy, probably didn't deserve it. Would that still be okay? If it was 1-0, but we didn't deserve it at all?
It would be, I think it would be. I think points-wise, where would that put us down? Table-wise, would we leap a few?
I think we go to something like 12th with a win. I think we go level on points with Fulham, but we'd have to beat them like 2 or 3-0 to go above them, if I remember right.
That's right, yeah. You have to beat Fulham 2-0 to go above them. So, 13th we'd probably head into. Then you go into Brentford at home. Tough game, that one Sunday. Yeah, it's all if buts and maybes, but a win's everything for us. We're desperate. Just want to win a game. So that Southampton one feels like ages ago now, doesn't it? It feels a long, long time ago since we last tasted victory. So, yeah, big old day down the smoke tomorrow. I'm getting the train down. I'll get 11:30. The last train is from Euston. I should make that, hopefully. Hopefully, it's a pretty straightforward one. So we'll see.
All right, a few predictions from the chat before I do mine. 3-1
Three
Villa
goals,
from Dave.
three goals from Villa.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
David,
1-1. Then Poch completes his move early November. Steve 1-1. AJ, we won't win. Nice profile picture there from AJ though. Nice line.
I like that.
Glacier Comics, another good profile picture of a walrus. 0-0. John Tuff 2-0 Fulham. Oh, John.
Come on, John. Take the 5.
Ian Slater 1-1. AJ 1-1 at best. Jason 1-1. A lot of 1-1s here. 2-0 Fulham for Marine Boy. Oh,
come on, Marine Boy.
Yeah, that's all of it for the score predictions. I'm going to go with you. Here's another couple. 1-1, I reckon, from Dane with a home win on Sunday. I probably would take that, to be honest. But I think, again, like I said before, if that was the other way around, it was a win, then a draw, I think that would be better to get another draw here against a side that have just been promoted. And like you said, 2 points and 9 available against three of the promoted sides. Even if you won Sunday, you just have to get through Friday and Saturday with, again, that kind of level of, God, only a draw against Fulham. So I think if it was the other way around, it would be different. 2-0 Villa and a 2-1 Villa.
Go on,
the score predictions coming in now. 3-1 Villa. So there's some positive ones in a row.
I want some goal scorers. Come on.
Yeah, I want some goals. I want some goals, man. I don't care who they are or what it is. I'm just sick of seeing like every goal score we've got is on one. Give us a Watkins hat trick or something.
The top scorers up for grabs. Ashley Young's in there.
Exactly,
Douglas is in there. They're fighting out for it.
Get our top scorer up there. So you said, what did you say? 1-0.
1-0 Villa.
0-1 Villa.
Nice and easy.
Take a draw, but I'm going to go with a win as well.
Oh yeah, you got your Clout and Blue specs on again. Come on, take them off.
Clout Blue specs on and my Clout and Blue jacket. 2-1. I'll go for 2-1 Villa. I think we might concede first and fight back to win, which doesn't sound like us at all, but just give my prediction a bit of an edge there. A couple of shouts for goal scorers like you just asked for. 3-3 Ings hat trick. I would take the Ings hat trick, but not the 3-3. Danny Ings to score from Ian.
He's due an Ings.
Ming scores 2 in a 1-1 draw.
Yes, I can see that. You can see that, can't you?
Oh, God, hopefully not, for his sake. 2 for Martinez. Martinez with both the goals from Andy and Steve. Yeah, okay. All right, that's enough nonsense.
Getting silly now. Come on. Next, they'll be saying Nakamba Screamer.
Yeah, 2-1. Watkins to get a couple of goals. Why not? Get our top goal scorer to 3 and a bit of confidence, Riley Watkins off the left-hand side. But that does us, I think, for this match preview. Ash, thanks very much for your time as always, and enjoy your train journey to and fro from London tomorrow. I don't imagine that's going to be easy on a Thursday night, but enjoy. Is John on the train with you as well?
He has, yeah,
Okay.
buddies, yeah.
Okay. Do you do anything on the train, by the way? Have you take like
I try and get a
book or some food, or
try and not really chill out on the way down usually. It's coming back. I think the pre-Brentford press conference is after the game, so they're doing it after the Fulham game.
Yeah.
So we'll have loads of typing up to do on the way back. It's a good chance to do some work on the way back, as opposed to I'll be in the car usually on the motorway. I'm usually coming home at 12, 1 o'clock, and then I'm typing up till 2, 3 sometimes with the midweek one, so it can be quite brutal. So yeah, I'll get a chance to relax on the train. The driving can take it out, yeah. So train's always a winner when you're down in London. And yeah, I've got a bit of company with John with me tomorrow, and it should be a good one. Here we go.
I just want suggestions in the comments now for things you and John can do on the way down, like play Scrabble or deck of cards or play.
Get some beers for the way back.
Yeah,
Pack of 4 for the way back.
Enjoy yourself, why not?
That's it.
Thanks everyone for watching and all the comments as well and all the score prediction stuff. It's been a good laugh, a nice bit of positivity towards the end there with in a bit of a hole.
Have a laugh, can't we, Dan?
Yeah, of course we can. That's what this podcast is always been about. As much as we'll take it seriously, I want to try and have a bit of fun as well. So yeah, we'll call it a day there before this fly gets in my mouth or something. Me and Matt are doing the post-match show tomorrow night, straight after full time. Obviously, it's on Amazon Prime. For those that don't know, I think there's an Amazon Prime free trial as well, so you should be able to get hold of that and watch the game if you don't have Amazon anyway. Yeah. So we'll jump on 15 minutes after full time or something and have a chat about hopefully a big 3 points for Villa, because if it isn't, that might not be a great show. But we'll do our best to get through it. Ash, thanks for your time as always. Like I said, thanks everyone for watching along. We'll see you again Thursday evening. Cheers and up the Villa.
All right.
Thank you for listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do let us know. We love hearing your feedback. We'll be back soon with another episode, but until then, up the Villa.